With me, it is Passenger Seat Radio. July 21st, 2025. You're on my 13-mile commute home. Welcome to the show. A little early. Had to leave a little early. I got some evening activity that I have to get to, and I'll tell you all about it here in just a minute. Let me see if I can get myself out of this traffic blockage here. Get on with the show. Welcome, everybody. Okay. All right, let me turn the chat on proper. Why it always does the top chat first. I just want to know not only top fans, you monkeys. All right, live chat. There we go. All right, perfect. Hey now, welcome to the show. Yes, it's Monday, the 21st, and yeah, I'm on my way home. So yeah, it's been an interesting weekend. Got a couple things to talk about. Not a ton, but a couple things. Where's my list? I actually made a list this time. Ta-da. Okay. So why am I leaving early today? Well, my son has decided he wants to buy a car. Now, he's been, of course, he lives at home. He's going to school. He's working, but for some reason he feels he needs to have his own car. I get it, but at the same time, I'm also of that mind that we ride that ride for as long as we can and we smile. So when your parents are letting you use a car for free, right? Blah, blah, blah. Why would you want to ruin that meal ticket? But that's okay. I get it. The boy wants to have something that belongs to him, and I totally get it. So I'm going to go home, change my clothes, get into something I can crawl under a used car with, and we're going to go and check out a vehicle. He's looking at a 2006 Toyota Highlander. And God knows I am a goddamn expert at this point. I have been doing all the research. So we picked out 5 or 6 cars. I checked them all out. I did the VIN search. It's amazing how long it takes to actually winnow down a handful of vehicles. So I know what all the common problems are. I know what to look for. And yeah, I mean, I've done everything remotely that I can do. Now we just got to go and get in the goddamn car and drive it around. Get this. So my son, I know this cracks me up. Let me get on the freeway here. My son said he didn't feel right driving it until he bought it. I'm like, what? No. You don't buy a used car without driving it. And we've got very specific things we need to look for while we're driving it. And it's just one of those things where it's like, that would be uncomfortable or rude. I'm going, dude, are you kidding me? That's the one thing you must do is drive the vehicle. Make sure it's good. So anyway, it's got, I think, 213,000 miles on it, which that's heavy, but it's a 2006, right? And if you do that law of 15,000 per year, it's still in pretty good shape. And those Toyotas, those will run forever if they've been taken care of. So it sounds like it's been taken care of. The timing belt's been changed on the right cadence, yada, yada, yada. So we'll check it out. And oil leakage is one thing that's a known issue with it. There's some steering column things that can happen. So we're going to check it all out. It's a 2-owner car in the family. It's one of those ones where it's like, cool. That's what you want. Outside of a grandma that only drove it to church and bingo, that's pretty good. Especially with the low mileage for the age of the vehicle. So, excited about that. So, the other thing that I got up to this weekend was, one of the things we get asked about a lot on Reddit are people wanting to use AR glasses with the Steam Deck. And it's always what dongle can I use to charge and play at the same time? What kind of settings can I use for this? Yada, yada, yada. And to be honest, it's one of those areas of the Steam Deck I just have zero fucking knowledge on, right? I don't have any AR glasses, and and the people that do, they're not sharing this wealth of information. So last time I checked, AR glasses were like $600. And for $600, you might as well go full VR, at that point. So I decided to go looking again this weekend. And it seems that you can get into a decent set of AR glasses for about $300. Just so happens that's about what I make from my YouTube fundage every month, right? I make a little more than that, but I mean, this isn't, listen, this ain't no million subscriber channel, so I take what I can get. So I decided whatever I make this month on YouTube, I'm going to put it right into a pair of AR glasses. I'll get reviews out of it. I'll be able to get all the experience I need with Steam Deck out of it. And hey, maybe it'll just kick ass, right? People who have these things, they go on and on and on and on and on about it. Greatest thing ever. My life is restored. My life is now complete. My bucket list is ended. These people, they talk about these things like it's, finding Jesus. And I'm like, okay, listen, okay, maybe it is. So I started doing my research. Now, you guys know how I am. I got to know everything about everything, and I have to make the right pick. So I did land on a pair. Cost is about $380. So I overshot my YouTube wad by just a little bit, but not too much. So $380, and I got them in, it was Sunday morning. It came in early Sunday morning. So I've had a couple of days to play with them, and I am putting together my, good Lord, putting together my review now, hopefully in the next couple of days. And I think I'll be able to cover them from a couple of different angles that will appeal to everybody, not just Steam Deck people. So I will tell you right now, they don't work with the Switch, which is too bad, because my wife would probably really enjoy playing her Switch on a 110-inch screen, But yeah. So yeah, no. Most of these AR glasses require USB-C or DPL. Hey now, Alex J. Lopez in the house, yo. So yeah, anything that has any sort of proprietary nature to it, like the Switch, does not work with these things. So essentially what you have to do is, and what a pain in the ass, essentially what you have to do is convert HDMI to USB-C in order to use things like the Switch or Xbox or PlayStation or whatever with the device. So I'm gonna kind of, I was gonna talk more about them, but I think I'll just kind of leave it here so you guys get a little something out of the review as well. And once the review's over with, I'll come back here and talk about it. So if you don't want to sit through my review, you can wait till probably next Monday. Actually, I won't. Actually, I'm taking a couple of days off next week, so it won't be maybe next Wednesday. Next Wednesday, I'll talk about it. So if you don't want to watch the video later on, then there you go. All right, what else do I got on here? What do you guys think of this Jumbotron scandal? I mean, all right, okay. So first off, where's your brains? All right? I've known a couple of people that have had a side piece, and having a side piece does not involve taking them into large public spectacles. So what is that? So for those of you who don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, some dude and his side piece decided to go to, what was it, a basketball game? I don't know, some sporting event. And the camera for the Jumbotron landed on them, and they got right there in public, and some hot broad took a video clip of it and posted it. Turns out that, the guy was married, and he just got caught with his side piece at a fucking sporting event on the Jumbotron. Now the guy was forced to resign, yada, yada, yada. I mean, Okay, so I got a couple of. Number one, what are you thinking? Where's your brains? Right? Where's your brains to take your side piece out in public like that? If you're gonna have a side piece, do it a little more discreetly. I don't know, especially at a game, especially at an event where they purposefully put a camera on people and put it up on the big screen. Maybe you deserve to get caught if you're, side piecing your ass at a fucking sporting event. That's all I'm saying. Heaven forbid. Maybe the guy's marriage sucks and he eats a little something on the side. But yeah, I have never seen anything explode like this. Not in forever. This shit is everywhere. Every social media platform, every possible way you can interpret it. People are making meme after meme after meme. Skeletor holding He-Man. I mean, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable how this scandal has completely taken a mind of its own. I'm stunned. I am absolutely stunned that this comes up. I mean, okay, look. There are actual terrible things going on in the world right now, and I'm going to leave it at that, that probably deserve the media's attention and social media's attention and people's attention in general. But what do we have to rally around? Some poor guy that got shot on the Jumbotron holding his side piece. Weird world we live in, folks. Weird world we live in. Yeah. Speaking of the weird world we live in, about a month ago, my wife says, hey, I got an idea. Because as you know, right, I think I've talked about it on the show, my wife and I are trying to slow time down a little bit, right? We're going out and having new adventures, new experiences. We go to the pop-up bars. We go to these weird themed events, yada, yada, yada. And this is how you're supposed to slow down time, is by creating new milestones, new memories, things that interfere with the flow of humdrum time. So we've been to some crazy shit. Some stuff I can't even talk about here. But suffice to say, I promise you it works. So, depending on where your cutoff is on that weird shit thing. So, about a month ago, my wife says, hey, because she was on Instagram or something, and she's like, hey, you know what we should do? I'm like, what you got, baby? She's like, let's go to a drag show brunch. Now, I can honestly say I've never been to a drag show. No clue what I'm in for, right? But listen, brunch is always good. I'm down to eat, obviously. Look at me. I'm down to eat. So if there's food involved, and listen, from what I do know about drag shows, the music is going to be right on par with what I'm looking for. They're going to play It's Raining Men. They're going to play fucking Lady Gaga. It's going to be perfect, right? I can, even if all of my sensibilities are offended, it's still going to be a good time with food and music, right? Sure, let's go. Let's try it. Let's do something different. So the drag show was on Sunday, as in yesterday, Sunday. So I look at every experience, or every one of these sort of events, as an experience. I try to really get something interesting or useful knowledge-wise out of everything that I do, right? If I'm going to go to a fucking Goodwill bin store, I'm going to get stories, I'm going to get data, I'm going to get information. And a drag brunch had the possibility of endless amounts of information and entertainment, and it didn't have to be on the stage. So, this drag brunch was at, doors open at 10:30, show starts at 11. It was a little later than that. But the story begins. Our story begins in Atlasburg. No, the story begins with who goes to a drag show, right? So I will tell you right now, we got to the event. Now, this is actually being held at the Arizona Broadway Theater. This is where we've seen Xanadu and all these other shows, right? But it's not on the main stage. It's on, they They have like encore rooms on the sides, right? So I didn't know. I didn't know how big that was. I didn't know how many people were going to show up. You think drag show there's going to be like 20 queens lined up, facing the stage, and you're done, right? I mean, that's kind of what you thought. That's what I thought. So we show up there, right? And there's a shitload of people there. And first of all, that's the first thing. There's a shitload of people at the drag show. And I'm like, okay. Didn't expect there to be a lot of people. Interesting. Now, what kind of people are we talking about? Who the fuck goes to a drag show? Not who you think. At least not to this drag show. So, I swear to God, we're crossing the parking lot. A car pulls up to the curb. We're getting ready to go in the building. A car pulls up to the curb. This woman gets out. Fucking ancient as fuck. I'm talking like 90 years old. Not even sure how she got out of the car. Don't know. But she gets out of the car, and her granddaughter probably, or great-granddaughter for Christ's sake, gets out of the car and helps her up the stairs. I'm going, wait a minute, Cinderella must be being, because Cinderella's the play that they're doing right now, the musical. So I'm thinking, okay, they're here for Cinderella. There must be a matinee of Cinderella. They ain't here for no drag show. Look at that woman. That woman probably still does Nazi salutes and says the N-word. You know what I'm saying? Listen, my grandmother-in-law, right before she passed, trust me, racism can only be bred out over generations. Grandmother-in-law was just a little on the racist side, and she wasn't quiet about it. So, okay, so I'm thinking, drag show for the 90-year-old woman. Okay. All right, well, listen, there's outliers everywhere. So we walk in, and the lobby is full. So these special events, drinking is part of it. I know it's Sunday. It's Sunday morning at 10:30 in the morning. People are fucking drinking. Oh, mimosas. Yeah, whatever. Bullshit. So, of course, they have a full bar open. Thank God. And every one of these themed events that they do have special concocted drinks, right? And they're usually named. They're the same sorts of drinks, but they're named something clever to go along with the event. Cinderella's got like all virgin drinks, right? And you can request booze to be put into them, whatever. So we headed over to the bar, and we ordered one of each of the specialty drinks that they had going on, and we sat down at the table, and we began to people watch. Who the fuck goes to a drag show? Apparently everybody. Now here's the funny part. I expected there to be a lot of gay men at a drag show. Maybe a couple, but nothing at all like what I expected. Okay, maybe a shitload of lesbians. Now, that's something I can get behind anyway. No. So wait a minute. So these are normal fucking people going to a drag show? Look, there's old people, there's young people, there's couples, there's groups of old ladies going to the drag show. What the fuck is this? What am I missing? Is there something I'm missing out on? There's got to be something I'm missing, because the clientele that were waiting in that room for the drag show, and some people paid extra for VIP. I'm just saying. There was no audience. There was no parameters around the audience. It was everybody. Young, old. I was over 21, right? So you had to, there were no children there. Which I'm sure a lot of my, conservative friends are probably happy to hear, that there were no children whatsoever at the drag show. But there were young people, there were single people, there were couples, there were groups of people, I'm talking like manly dudes were at the drag show. Like guys that, you could tell they weren't gay. So what are we doing why is everybody here? What's going on? I thought maybe there was something I missed. There was some secret code, and maybe drag show meant something different. Maybe I missed out. So that was our first bit was, the fuck are all these people doing here? And why is it like straight older? It's old people. One woman was there. Her name was Shelly. And I'll tell you why I know this. celebrating her 85th birthday. Where do you go? Where do you take Gammy? Where do you take Gammy for her 85th birthday? Huh? Where do you take Gammy? Drag shows at the theater? Yeah, let's go. I don't know, but she had the crown on. You know how they do it when they take out a bunch of friends. You could tell it was one of her daughters was there, and a couple of her friends were there. She had the tiara on. She had the "It's my birthday" tag on. You know, the shit that they do when they want to embarrass the fuck out of whose birthday it is, right? And just the drag show. So anyway, so we're sitting down now. They bring out the meal, which had quiche, which cracked me up. There's something funny about quiche in a drag show, but I'll leave it there. But yeah, so they brought out the food, and there was drinking going on. Everyone was having a good time. And then the show started, and I really didn't know. I don't know what, I mean, I've seen drag shows on TV. I've read stories about them. I just didn't really know what it would be like in person. Yeah, I mean, what was that look like? So it's literally what you thought it was. It's guys dressed as women doing, singing, lip syncing, not singing, lip syncing music, right? And dancing around and running around through the audience. And, everybody was getting into it. I'm missing something. It wasn't clicking. So they had 4 performers total. One of them, okay, so the first one came out and did like a bunch of Dolly Parton music, which I'm sorry, Javier, made me think of you. Because we talked about Dolly the other day, if you remember. She came out, she, whatever, I'm just going to call it she. I don't want to be confused. They address themselves as she's, but there's a difference between, okay, first off, I'm learning a lot of interesting stuff. So let me explain something to you. So, because we had like, not Q&A, but they had talking sections in between the musical numbers. And so I learned a few things. Drag doesn't necessarily mean gay, but probably, right? These are not transvestites. That's the first thing I had to learn. Drag is a gay, is a man, gay man thing. It's not transvestitism, which is sort of what I thought it was. But there's this whole showmanship going on, and you can tell that they really take this weird pride in the showmanship piece of it. I mean, a couple of them were like remarkable dancers, and it's like, and so I'm sitting here trying to process this shit. Not that I found any of them particularly attractive, right? My wife looks over and she goes, "You don't know what to make of this, do you? You don't know how to feel." And it's like, it's not that I'm sexually confused here. I'm confused at the situation. I'm trying to process the situation. And so it was interesting. So each one came out, did 3 or 4 songs, right? And then they rotated a couple of them back in, and then they had, so this was the fun part. The 2 co-hosts of the drag brunch went and picked somebody out from the audience to be their drag kids, their drag daughters, whatever, sons, whatever. Anyway, so Shelly, of course, being the birthday girl. I mean, dude, she's practically a mummy. I'm telling you, like, I'm talking like, she's 85, but I've seen good looking, excellent 85, and I've seen ready for the fucking grave 85. She was somewhere in the middle. So they brought her up, of course, made a big spectacle out of her. And then they brought this guy up. He was not a plant, I assure you. They brought this guy up, big burly dude, bald, had fucking tattoos all over his arm. Not gay, not a plant, I assure you. So they got them up there and they had to pick out drag names, and there's a thing where you use your pet's name and the fucking street that you first lived on, yada, yada, yada. And then they had to do like a drag show, right? And everyone clapped, and, Shelly won, of course. But of course, listen, she was a great sport. I mean, she was 1 foot in the fucking grave, but she was a good sport. Oh my God, they had fun with her though. The DJ said something like, I don't have any music from the 40s or something. I almost lost my shit. I was dying. I was laughing so fucking hard. I don't have anything from the 40s. No Anderson sisters. But yeah, it was it was an experience. But listen, I'm to the point in life where almost anything is worth experiencing. One, to say that you did, and two, to see what you could get out of it. What can you glean from it? I learned a lot. It was an interesting thing. It was entertaining. I learned a lot, and people watching at these events is fantastic. There are some people there that are fucking miserable, because they had no clue what they were getting into, and you could tell, right? You could tell there were tables of people that I don't know why they didn't leave, but whatever. And then there were people that were having the greatest fucking time, you know? It was weird. It was a weird event. But, you know, again, it was interesting. I learned something new, and, you know, I didn't get mauled or molested, so I guess at the end of the day, it worked out. All right, well, listen, I'm closing in on the house here. Be looking for the AR glasses video review in the next couple of days. I'm still scripting and testing, and there's my wife. I got